Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today we are here for another versus video. And today this will be a little bit different because I'm not comparing one model from one brand to another. I'm just comparing the same model with slight variation from the same brand. So I think this may be interesting for some that may want to decide what they want to do. And so, let's start. Today we are comparing the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande. This one is the dark Hawaii, but with the older piston filler system. And this is the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, and the color is sand, and it has the new piston filler system, and it is often called Pistone, which means piston in Italian. So this is what we are going to see, and let's see the differences. I showed you the reviews of both pens before, so you can check these reviews for each one of those. You can find links on the description of this video, and let's take a look at both of them just to remind you of what it is and what you can expect from such a pen. So first we have here the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, which is the dark Hawaii. Let's pick them both because it's a versus, maybe it's easier to show them both at the same time. So we have pens that have a very, I would say, a very classic Italian style. They have pointy ends on both ends, you can see here, and also, oops, I'm touching here the tripod, sorry, and also here. They have a very thin clip with a little wheel to allow the clip to go over fabric or the pouch that you're using. Then you have 3 bands on the cap, a little or 3 rings, then a little ring there on the barrel, and another little ring before this end part. And this end part will be different. When you unscrew the caps, you will take a look at the pens that look the same. Both have ebonite feet, and they have both have these nibs, which are fine and beautiful, with a metal ring just before the nib. And the section has this very unique shape that looks strange, but it's quite comfortable. But okay, this is something that we'll see in a moment again. So let's talk about what they are. This is the dark Hawaii. This is one of the colors that is available. It is made of this kind, I think they call it spaghetti resin, which is a kind of an acrylic that is made by putting little pieces of acrylic, bonding them together, and then turning the pen out of that composite material, so you can find different colors. Both have this same kind of construction. So this is the dark Hawaii, this is the sand. They are available in some other colors. Some colors, this one was available in some colors of acrylic. This is about the material and the colors at the same time. But it was also available in special editions in celluloid and even ebonite. This one is available in some of the colors that the previous model has been available, and it also is available in new colors and also different materials for special editions. The size of the pens is the same for both of them. They are 15.1 centimeters long, like this, capped, and they are here on the cap, on the bulkiest part. They they have 1.6 centimeters, so they are very good sized pens. You can see the size comparison in the video reviews that I made of each pen. The weight of each pen is different, and this is let's say the first difference that I have to point between these two pens. This one, the older filling system, has 35 grams. This one weighs 30 grams. So there are 5 grams difference between these two pens. They were both recently filled, so we are comparing the same in the same conditions. The filling system, and this is the main difference about this pen. The filling system of this pen, it is a piston filler, but it is a piston filler that you can access like this, like the Leonardo Momento Zero, the simple version. You can turn this here, or you can remove the whole barrel and you have this piston, which is kind of a big converter that is glued. Some people call it captive converter. So you have to unscrew the barrel or just this little blind cap to access the piston that will work perfectly, and this is a very good system, I would say. But you have another different system, which is this one, and this is the typical piston filler. You cannot remove the section, and this is not a blind cap, this is the turning knob itself, so you can fill the pen. Differences between both pens in this particular thing. This one has no ink window and no way of seeing the volume of ink. This one doesn't have ink window also, but you can do this and check how the ink is inside. You can see this is pretty full because I filled this up right now. Okay, let's go for another difference. The ink capacity of both pens. This one, let's go first for the older filling system. The older filling system takes inside, and you can see this is kind of a very big converter. It's not very long because most of it is the mechanism, but it is quite girthy there, so it takes a lot of ink. It takes 1.2 milliliters of ink, which is quite good. I think it's very good ink capacity. But if you go to the regular, let's call it the traditional piston mechanism, this one takes 1.5 milliliters. So this one will have a bigger ink capacity, even though it is lighter, and I think most of it is because of the amount of metal that is present on the end of the converter. So the next item I have here is the nib material, and the nib material I have here is steel for both pens. Both are fine steel nibs, but gold nibs are available also, so if you want you can buy this pen with a different nib. You just need to choose it when you go to the store. The price is the same for both pens, however this is discontinued now. The pen costs around 300 euros with the steel nib, and it goes to around a little bit less, so we're talking about 5 or 10 euros less than 300, and it goes to around 500 when we are talking about gold nib. So you have to add more 200 euros if you want to an upgrade to the gold nib. I have to say that these steel nibs perform greatly, and I think part of that is not only because of the nib itself, but it is because of the ebonite feed, which I think it makes all the difference when you're talking about good pens. The other item I have here on my notes is, can this pen be used and posted? Yes and yes for both, because it's quite long, you can use it perfectly. And the next question is, can it be used posted? Yes, you can, and it comes very long, I think too long, but it doesn't get back heavy, because I think the cap stays here in in a good place, and you see the balance is quite good. I'm holding the pen, now I'm not holding it anymore, and it stays there. So at least for my size, my hand size, I think this kind of size is perfect. When I put this here, I don't find it to turn the turning knob, and I think that is a good thing. It stays, it posts outside the turning knob, which is a good thing. So let's go for specific details about these pens. First, let's see two similar details which are the same in both pens, which is I'm having trouble focusing. The ebonite feed, which I find quite good. It is very slim. I think this is beautiful. It really brings us back to vintage feel. Both have ebonite feed. There is one thing that is different between both, and I think this is, when you're looking at the pens externally, it's the only difference you will notice, really. It's there. I think you can see. This one, I have problems with focusing. This one, you can see it has a step, there, and the lip of the cap goes flush with the barrel because it has a step down there. The new version doesn't have a step down, it just tapers down until it gets flush. So it is a little different. It's hard to say which one is nicer. I don't think you can decide that way. I just think this is smoother, but I would say that this step is not out of place because you could also imagine almost another ring there. It is the same kind of repetition, so I don't think that's a wrong thing. So just two different details. This is a way you can tell apart the pens one from each other without having to uncap and trying to remove the section or trying to remove this. So this is the difference between the two pens. Okay, the finishing, the material is different, the color, but we already know that. It's just, I could have both in sand and it would be a perfect comparison. The other big difference, of course, as I told you, is the piston that makes some difference. It makes difference in the way you work with the pens. If you prefer to see the ink level, this one will be better. If you prefer to have more ink capacity, this one will be better for you. It also depends if you like the traditional piston filler or a slightly different one. For me, both are good, so I cannot say one is better than the other. I will show you the pens on paper in a moment. I just want to say just something more that may be interesting for you. If you're searching for one of these pens, you may try to buy whichever you want. If you don't really have a preference, you may try to get this one, and I will tell you why. Because in a way this may be cheaper. They changed this filling system to this filling system. So this one is discontinued now, and stores may be wanting to get rid of remaining stock, and so this one, the old filling system, has more chances of being in a special discount than the newer version. So for you, if this is absolutely the same to have this one or that one, try to check this one because you may get lower price. But if you really want to have the most recent and the most classical way, I would say go for that one. And actually they both have the same price. This may have better discounts. That's just it. The material is lovely on both these pens. Let's just see them on paper. So I have here our Rhodia pad. I like this pad. It's very good for testing pens, and because it's long and it is Rhodia paper. So this is the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande Dark Hawaii. I have some viewers that complain on my handwriting, but believe me, my family does the same and my school teacher did the same for ages, and this handwriting is great. I'm not trying to improve it anymore, but that's the way I am, with a fine steel nib, and this one has the old system, and the nib, you can have some line variation. The pen is quite good. The ink in this pen is the diamine denim, so I chose an ink from the same brand. And this one is the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, and the color is sand with also a fine steel nib, and this one has the Pistone, which means the real piston kind. You can see this one is a little finer, and those little lines are because I touched the paper with the feed. I pressed it more. And very good performance. This one is diamine Macassar, beautiful dark brown ink. And this one is, let me just put it here, diamine denim. Also a nice blue, and I'm not that big fan of blue inks. So, here you have the writing sample. Here you have both pens. They are both great. I'm just showing the difference between them, and I hope to help you to decide which one you may want to get. And I would say, and this is quite partial, but I have to say that if you have the money to afford one Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, please buy one. It may be the steel nib, but if you can afford, I'm really sure this is a pen that is good, very good quality, very beautiful material, and I think this is one of the more this is one of the new brands with more potential, because they are doing really great job. So this is all I had to show you. I hope you liked this versus video, and I'll be back soon for some more. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!